And welcome everybody to the Whiz Wit podcast, your standalone Philadelphia 76ers podcast on the Olde City Sports Network. So clap your hands, everybody, and get ready for the show.
A 6-foot guard from Georgetown, number 3,
And it comes to Embiid. Scoops it to Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey! Count it! And the foul!
It's stolen, I think, by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
and 6'9" from St. Vincent St. Mary's, number 23, LeBron James.
Processing, still trying to process this. Welcome everybody to the Whiz Wit podcast. I'm your host, Anthony DeStefano. Welcome to the pilot episode, the debut episode, the re-debut episode. This show actually came out during COVID. So we started the Whiz Wit podcast. It was super fun to do. And then 3 weeks later, sports shut down. So now we are back many years later to talk about the best team in the NBA, my favorite team in the NBA, hopefully your favorite team in the NBA, the best starting five in the NBA. I'm saying that. The best starting five in the NBA. The Philadelphia 76ers. At the beginning, I said processing. We're still processing, right? Because not only did the 76ers find their own Howie Roseman and Mike Gansey, right? Not only did they find a GM that is willing to do whatever it takes to bring a title to Broad Street, they stole Jaylen Brown. They stole Jaylen Brown from our rivals. And then LeBron James signs a 2-year deal with the Philadelphia 76ers and takes a 92%, I think it was, percent pay cut? A 92% pay cut to join the 76ers. My man went from 50 plus a year to $4 million a year just to bring a title down the Broad Street. I am at a loss for words. This is by far the biggest name to ever come to Philadelphia. I don't think I was ever this hyped for someone to come to Philadelphia. And listen, we can talk about the age, and we'll get into that later. 41 years old or whatever, 42, 40 plus. This isn't your regular 40-year-old, though. Averaged 20, 7-7 last year, right? And he is like our fourth or fifth option. So we will get to the age thing, but this signing brought me back to when the Phils got Bryce Harper, right? It brought me back to a time where it was just like we were picked. I want to say Saquon, but honestly, Saquon was coming off a lot of injuries. Saquon really didn't break out until he was an Eagle. He had that great Super Bowl year, in my opinion, MVP season. But beforehand, he wasn't like the biggest name, right? Like he was a great name. He was a great player, but Bryce Harper, LeBron James, they were both the chosen one, anointed at 16 years old, each of them. Carried the crown, never dropped it. Never dropped the crown. LeBron has handled everything with such class. And I'm a LeBron guy, right? I'm a Kobe guy. I'm a LeBron guy. I'm not a big Jordan guy, right? I'm just never was a Jordan guy. I appreciate the greatness. Do I think he's the greatest player ever? Yes. LeBron James, to me, is the greatest basketball player ever because he is been so great for the duration, right? So Michael Jordan was the greatest in this period of time. But over longevity, no one has been great as long as LeBron James. And he decided to bring his talents to Broad Street. So let's start with what happened, right? Out of nowhere, I didn't even know this guy was available to the 76ers. They trade Paul George for Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's an All-NBA player. He was the NBA Finals MVP. He's 30 years old. He just carried the Celtics with Tatum out, and we got him. at 30 years old. At 30 years old, we get Jaylen Brown to pair with Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Joel Embiid. Right there, I'm like, hey, guys, what an offseason. What an offseason. They signed Dean Wade. I'm like, we got a power forward. I love Barlow. Barlow's not a starting power forward. We got our starting power forward. That's a strong 5. Anthony Simons signs. We got someone that can hit the 3. We have a guy that can hit the 3 and score at will off the bench. That's a great 6th or 7th man. Before that, we draft Phylon. Which, Phylon, 17, 18 a game in Summer League? Okay. It all healed my heart from the McCain trade, right? Because I think Phylon's going to be a better NBA player than McCain, personally. That's just my opinion. I eventually this show will be live and you can tell me I'm wrong and I will respect that. But I think Phylon is going to be a better NBA player and a better scorer than Jarrett McCain. And we got him. So right there, I just named like 7 or 8 guys. This is before the rumblings start. Rich Paul's making whiteboards with the teams that LeBron wants to go to, and the Sixers are on it. And Maxey has a little star next to him. LeBron James loves Tyrese Maxey. We love Tyrese Maxey. My dog, my golden retriever, his name is Maxey. 4 years old, by the way. Called that shot, didn't I? LeBron James loves Tyrese Maxey. He has said in interviews, go back to January, that Tyrese Maxey is his favorite player to watch in the NBA. They train together. They work together. He is a mentor to Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is also a clutch sports player. So a clutch sports player. So now he has that instant connection. That instant connection to LeBron James. Right? And you go, but what if? What if that move for Jaylen Brown was enough to get LeBron to come to the Sixers? Take a huge pay cut, but come to the Sixers. Don't go back home to Cleveland. Don't go back to Miami. Don't go to Golden State, but come to Philadelphia. And we've never really been the belle of the ball in basketball. I don't feel like anybody has ever really been like, hey, I want to sign with the Sixers. You know, that I can remember that. Obviously, no signings as big as LeBron James. But to me, like, Jimmy Butler left us. Harden left us. You know, it was a whole debacle. The process was dead, right? The process was buried. 2 years ago, we won under 30 games. Now we're talking about being favored in the East to go to the NBA Finals. And let's get into some stuff, right? Because let's be real. The New York Knicks are a damn good team. The New York Knicks are the world champions for a reason. They are a good team that has chemistry, that have worked together for years, since college, most of the guys. They have chemistry. Can LeBron, Embiid, Maxey, Brown, Edgecombe fit? Who becomes the primary scorer here, right? You have Maxey scoring 28. You have Brown scoring 28. You have Embiid scoring 28. You have Edgecombe scoring a modest 16 his rookie year, right? Unbelievable. And then you have LeBron scoring 20. Well, there's not enough basketballs to go around, right? Wrong. LeBron James gives that team something that they need. They gives that team something they haven't had, a ball handler. Tyrese Maxey plays better off the ball. He's a natural scorer. He took that leap last year in playmaking, but I want Tyrese Maxey to score the basketball. LeBron James, at 41 years old, might not have to score as much. Maxey's going to kill you at the 3 or at the rim. Jaylen Brown's going to kill you in the midi. Embiid's going to kill you all over the floor when he's on it. And Edgecombe's going to take you to the basket, and his 3 improved. These guys are going to get so many open shots playing with the genius of basketball that LeBron James is. The IQ that LeBron James has is next level. It's something we've never seen in Philadelphia basketball, probably since Dr. J, right? Like, his basketball IQ is unbelievable. unbelievable. Maxey, Edgecombe, get ready to shoot your hearts out. Jaylen Brown, get ready to shoot your hearts out. Embiid, get ready for that pick and roll with LeBron and Maxey. It's almost like they could bring back a triangle offense with like there is so many options, right? But how does Maxey's game change playing off ball? I think it lets him rest. What we saw last season was a tired Tyrese Maxey. 40-plus minutes a game, and that guy doesn't jog. He's full throttle. He's full speed. He's Sonic the Hedgehog. He is running full speed, full tilt the whole time. And by the playoffs, he was a little burnt, right? We really didn't have a bench. Now we have a bench. How does Tyrese Maxey's role change? Tyrese Maxey, to me, becomes such more of a dynamic scorer. And that's hard to say, 28 a game. But he's going to be shooting open. They can't double team him. They can't trap the ball. I would not be shocked if Maxey doesn't put up 28 a game again, because it's going to open up his game so much. He doesn't have to bring the ball up. Now, benefits of bringing the ball up, you touch the ball every time. What I like to see the Sixers do, and this was another fault in the playoffs, inside-outside. I felt in the playoffs, Embiid was kind of a black hole. You throw the ball in, the ball doesn't come back out. You don't get the ball back. He's going to hold it for 20 seconds, try to draw a foul, throw up some stuff. Not with this team. You can't. You can't do that with this team. Ball goes to Embiid. Get your shooters at the hash in the corner. Let the big man go to work, or let him kick it out, or let LeBron cut, or let Jaylen Brown kill you in the midi, or let Tyrese Maxey go backdoor with his speed, or let Edgecombe and rim run. There's so much you can do with this offense, but they need to build chemistry. If I'm the Sixers, I'm getting together as soon as possible, working out together, training together, because the expectations are so high. Now, here's another thing that LeBron brings that nobody's talking about. He is a dog on defense. LeBron James and Jaylen Brown on defense will lock you up. Edgecombe, he's aggressive. There's no easy buckets on Edgecombe. Maxey's always trying to steal the ball. Quick hands in the lane. He took a leap on defense last year. And then Embiid. Can Embiid jump? Can Embiid rebound? Can Embiid block? There's a lot of questions. We're hearing a lot about Embiid being in the best shape of his career. We haven't seen Embiid. We haven't heard from Embiid since anything has happened, as I'm recording this at least. Maybe Embiid shocks us all. Maybe Embiid comes back in the best shape of his career. And maybe he plays more than half the games and actually has a playoff run where he is not injured. That's the big thing. Embiid's been injured every playoff run, and sometimes it's not even to his own fault. It's a freak accident. It's an illness that you can't control. The guy has the worst luck. So I also see the benefit of maybe Embiid once or twice a week. And I hate that. I hate the sitting out thing. I always want to see my players play. I had never seen a Sixers championship. I've heard about them. I've watched videos of them. I've never seen one. I'm willing to watch Embiid 40 games this year to make sure he's healthy in the playoffs, to see that trophy on Broad Street. Right? So here's the question I want to pose to you, and please comment below. Championship or bust, right? What are your expectations for the 2026-2027 season? Because in the East, Miami got stronger with Giannis, the Greek freak, right? The Knicks are the Knicks, man. They were tough last year, and they only got better. And they're coming in with a chip on their shoulder because they won the championship. Now everybody's talking about Philadelphia. I feel Boston took a step back, if I'm being honest. I mean, you traded Brown for George. I know they have a bunch of players that they think can step up, and they're big on basketball analytics. Well, my basketball analytics say that Jaylen Brown's a damn good player, and he's got a lot more basketball left than Paul George. And that's no disrespect to Paul George. I loved his game last season. I thought he was a big help, minus the 25-game suspension. I felt he stepped in, did his thing, played his role well, and really helped develop Edgecombe and Maxey. So shout out to Paul George. And I like Paul George, PG, but you're comparing apples to oranges. Jaylen Brown is 30 years old, man. He's a finals MVP. He's been there, done it. He was second team All-NBA, right? We have 2 All-NBAers in our starting lineup and a former MVP and 2 finals MVPs, and LeBron's an MVP. And LeBron's a finals MVP. Like, the accolades, right? So to me, my expectations are Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't want to throw out championship. I don't want to throw out world title. We've seen this in the past. We've seen super teams in the past. We've seen Malone and Peyton join Kobe and Shaq, lose in the finals. We've seen the Miami Heat the first season, Wade, Bosh, LeBron, lose in the finals. And I think that's why LeBron did 2 years. Give me 2 years. Give me 2 cracks at this thing. First year could be chemistry. Second year, let's get the money. I think Eastern Conference Finals, or this is one of the biggest disappointing seasons ever. With this lineup, you can't make excuses anymore, right? You're the belle of the ball in Philadelphia now. You're on the Eagles level now, right? It's crazy because if you told me last year when we had Daryl Morey that the Sixers were going to have this starting 5 and have this potential and have so much hype around them, I would have told you you're lying. I was so disgusted with Morey. I was so disgusted with the McCain trade. I was so disgusted with everything that happened with Harden, and just that it just feels like we couldn't keep a player. Then we signed Paul George to a big contract. He can't stay healthy, and that was only like 3 months ago, 4 months ago. I mean, if they don't beat Boston, right, in the playoffs, we aren't as happy with the Sixers as we ended up being. But because they beat the Celtics, we all kind of gave them a free pass, right? So we were shocked that they did it. But the Knicks showed what the Sixers lacked. And the Sixers burn out by the time they're at the Knicks. So with this starting lineup, people can get breaks. You can get a rest. And when I said starting lineup, here's the biggest factor. They have a bench. The Sixers have a bench. Something we haven't had. So I want you to think about this. Because as I'm recording this, Caldwell Pope's coming to the Sixers. Great 3-and-D guy, friends with LeBron. So LeBron, Caldwell Pope. Those 2 veteran minimum. Eric Gordon, Kyle Lowry. That's who we had last year in those slots. We have LeBron and Caldwell Pope. Upgrade, right? Crazy upgrade. I just traded you a nice, reliable Ford Explorer for a Cadillac Escalade, right? That's what we got. We hopped out of the Ford, hopped in the Caddy for the same amount of money. That's LeBron James factor, though. Caldwell Pope wanting to come and sign a minimal deal with the Sixers. 3-and-D. Another guy off the bench. Another guy that can help. Bona off the bench. Barlow off the bench. Now with Caldwell Pope coming in, what happens, right? Someone's got to go. Is it Walker? It's not going to be Justin Edwards. There's going to be more movement, right? There's going to be a lot more movement. But my expectations for this team are the Eastern Conference Finals because of the bench. Like, we're talking about the starting 5, but like the bench is so deep. And it has veteran players, and it has young players, and developmental players, and just players that know their role. We haven't had that. We have not had that. And that's why we got beat in the playoffs. The Knicks were deep. People come off the bench, they can score. People come off the bench, they can play defense. They all have a role. They all do their role. Not the Sixers last year. This season, maybe the best lineup the Sixers have ever had, minus that championship team. If the Sixers win the title this year, it will be the greatest Sixers lineup ever assembled. It's like the Avengers, right? It is like the Avengers assemble. You Maxey and Embiid, and then here comes Edgecombe or Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Here comes Captain America, LeBron James. Like, here comes Jaylen Brown. He's Iron Man. Like, it's just like assemble. And I'm still processing. And that's why the name of this episode is Processing. Because we're still processing this. Like, I was driving near Philadelphia today. Billboards already for LeBron. Jerseys sold out. I've never remembered the Sixers having this much hype. And if you weren't rocking during Nerlens Noel, Jahlil Okafor, Michael Carter-Williams, Lou Williams, if you weren't rocking during that time, you don't know how we feel. You don't know how we feel. Because this is, as Meek said, we used to pray for times like this. And we did. So let's talk about the winners and losers of this for the Sixers, right? Who's the biggest winner in their lineup? I think I touched on it a little bit earlier. I said Tyrese Maxey. But I don't think it's Tyrese Maxey. I think Tyrese Maxey's game is the biggest winner. The biggest winner is VJ Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe gets to play with a top 2 player of all time. Get into his working habits, get into his brain, learn from him. And VJ Edgecombe kind of reminds me a little bit of LeBron. Not as big, likes to rim run, not afraid to be physical on defense, can throw it down, can shoot the ball, and just has that talent. It's raw, natural athleticism. I think he benefits more than anybody. Do I think Joel Embiid benefits? Absolutely. I think everyone benefits because of LeBron James. And that's across the board. Bench, coach, front office, fans, marketing, everybody. Everyone. Me, you, everybody benefits from having LeBron James. You know, I know there's a lot of LeBron haters. And that's why Philly's perfect for him. You know, people hate us here. We don't care, right? We like being the villain. And I think LeBron in the NBA, as good as a guy he is, because he is a great person off the court, you won't find someone who does the stuff LeBron James does off the court with starting schools and donating millions and just never a scandal, nothing. LeBron James in the spotlight for 30 years, nothing. Clean as a whistle. But yet people hate him because he's not Mike. And people hate him because he's compared to Mike. Which is just weird to me. You're just hating greatness. Appreciate greatness when it's here. Appreciate greatness when it's in front of you. Appreciate greatness when it's 24 years in the NBA, still at the highest level. Still 20 points a game. Still 7 rebounds. Still 70 assists. Still one of the top 20 players in the NBA. Which is crazy at this age. No one's been great as long as LeBron James. Now, the coaching adjustments now. What does this mean for Nick Nurse? That's my biggest question mark. Nick Nurse. How do you handle the wealth? It's like me hitting the lottery, right? All of a sudden, I'm a millionaire. How do I handle that? What do I do with these riches? And I think that's the big thing with Nick Nurse. What are we doing with it? How are we going to run the offense? What does the offense look like? What does the defense look like? What do the rotations look like? My biggest knock on Nick Nurse last year was the rotations. What do the rotations look like? You have to have some players on the floor at the same time. I used to hate when he would take Maxey and Embiid out. And you'd have, George and Edgecombe. Why are they both out at the same time? You know what I mean? Why, if Maxey has 15 in the first, does he have to sit at the beginning of every second? Every game, he started the second quarter on the bench. Let the guy be hot, and when he starts missing, bench him. I think less is more. Don't overthink it. You don't need to overthink this. You have the talent there. But I also think it's beneficial that I mentioned the bench. I mentioned the depth because, let's be real, Sixers never had a roster like this. Nick Nurse championship coach, has never had a roster quite like this. I think you just keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? Keep it as simple as possible. Keep it as clean as possible, because I don't see a world where you can mess this up. You have too many veteran players and presence to mess this up. I think there's plenty of winners. I don't think there's any losers in this. I think the biggest question mark is definitely Nick Nurse. And that's not a knock on Nurse. It's how do you handle this wealth? How do you handle this new riches that you're pocketing? How do you spend it? And I guess we'll see, right? I guess we'll find out quick. I can't believe it. I'm like sitting here and I'm talking and it doesn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real. LeBron James is a 76er. Jaylen Brown is a 76er. So the starting lineup alone combines for over 100 points a game. Combined for over 100. Like, I think chemistry is the big factor. I think rotation's a big factor. I think everything else we can figure out. I think LeBron James is one of the most unselfish players in the NBA. And I was hoping for Ben Simmons. I'm going to be honest. I was like, Ben Simmons would fit this team perfectly. Now, there is rumors that Ben wants to come back as a 5. Well, hey, backup center. But, no. But, like, we need someone who could just play defense, rebound, pass the rock, take it to the hole. LeBron James. But LeBron James' jump shot has developed at an older age, a la Vince Carter, right? Remember Vince Carter was the most amazing man in the world. Well, knees don't last that long. Learn how to jump shoot. We're seeing LeBron become a better shooter. Maybe it's Maxey dishing to LeBron. Maybe it's Edgecombe driving kick. Maybe it's Jaylen Brown in the midi posting up, kicking out. It is an amazing time to be a Philadelphia 76ers fan. It is like Howie season. It's like Howie season all over again. And I want to talk a little bit about the process. Mike Gansey comes in. Mike Gansey has known LeBron from Cleveland for years. Is he part of the reason he came? If you told me 1 month ago the Sixers would be favored to win the East, I would say you're lying. They're a 6 seed at best. 1 month later, it's championship or bust. Media is not going to give us breaks. Bring the pressure. And bring your popcorn, because this season's going to be amazing. But what Mike Gansey did in a month's time, there might be a statue of this man, much like Howie Roseman, because this is a turning point in Sixers basketball. LeBron James just opened the door and said, Philadelphia is one of the best sports towns in the world. I'm taking my talent there, and everybody should follow me. Hey, maybe Connor McDavid for the Flyers next year, right? We got Barkley. We got Harper. This is the biggest star we ever got. Philadelphia is the place to be in the sports world. Philadelphia is the center of the universe. It's all eyes on Broad Street. And hopefully you keep all eyes on the Whiz Wit podcast. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this little quick episode of the Whiz Wit podcast. You can follow me at Instagram, Whiz_Wit_pod. YouTube, Whiz Wit Pod. I'm part of the Olde City Sports Network. Please check out all the shows. And thank you to all of our sponsors. Obviously, we're going to have a different kind of segmentized show when it returns. This is the pilot episode. This is the first episode. This is me just giving this a go. I haven't done a solo show. I'm going to be honest. I haven't done a solo show in 6 years. I've done a lot of podcasts. I've done a lot of vlogs. I haven't done a solo show in quite some time, but I'll tell you what, this was a blast. And it's only going to get better, right? Like a little nervous, little rusty. But I think it's going to get better. And as we have segments, and as we're live, and I can interact with you, the fans, I want you to tell me I'm wrong. I want you to tell me I'm right. I want you to make me think from a different point of view. Because that's how we learn. That's how we grow, is through discussion, through debate, or through just acknowledging that people have different opinions. I am so excited to take this journey. I want to thank Jesse so much for this opportunity. This is awesome just to be the standalone Sixers show, and something I'm so passionate about, and something that I can't wait to just talk about. This will be a bi-weekly show. We'll be doing this every 2 weeks until the season kicks up. You know how basketball starts a little weird, right? Basketball starts like 2 games a week, 1 game. You'll have 5 games in 15 days. And then after December, after Christmas, like boom, 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 like every other night. That's when this show will pick up. I plan on being back a week before the season starts to recap the offseason again, because who knows what's going to happen. I will do breaking news pods. If someone's traded, if someone signs, I will do breaking news pods. They'll probably be a little bit shorter. But I want to know what you guys want to hear. What do you want me to talk about? Sometimes I might do a throwback, a retro segment where we talk about basketball in the past. We talk about Sixers of the past. Name that Sixer, Todd McCullough. No, you know what I mean? Like, we can have a lot of fun here. I just want to know what you guys want to hear. I want to have fun with this. I want to talk about our fandom. I want to talk about being a basketball city again, because that's what we are now. Philadelphia's a basketball city again. And I'm so grateful for it. And I'm so excited for it. I'm seeing preseason tickets are going for $235 a ticket. $235 a ticket for preseason. This is Eagles. This is Eagles pricing for our Philadelphia 76ers. Just unbelievable. So guys, give me a follow on all the platforms. Make sure you follow Olde City Sports Network on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you can find them, Instagram. Just follow them, right? Great talent, great shows, great fun with a lot more coming. And just keep trusting the process as we still process that the Philadelphia 76ers got LeBron James. I will see you really soon. Be safe and clap your hands, everybody.